Because so far what we talk about is everything in the universe that you give example, it is something which is dependent on something else. Hence, the causation is contingent and
trying to think.
Which is a good thing, as human beings. That is our best tool.
More of like a semantic argument here. Like the semantics is the thing.
If you want to call causation semantics, that's up to you. But it's pretty scientific here, in terms of something which is contingent and something which is not contingent, not dependent on anything, self-sufficient, self-existing, has a will, has intelligence, designs everything that you see from the micro to the macro. Okay, it must have a will.
Okay, but yeah.
And why you still didn't tell me? You still didn't tell me why you disagree with it, other than just shaking your head.
Well, no, because as I said,
that's a quick random question. Did the sun exist before the being?
Of course.
The sun existed.
If the universe existed, the sun is part of the universe.
Yeah.
So
I thought we went beyond that already.
No, I'm not saying what existed before the being, the something existed.
No. We are taking it one step at a time. I'm saying the universe itself didn't exist at one point, and everything that you can imagine in the universe, including all the matter, all the energy, all the galaxies, all the suns, yes, all of these are contingent. All of these, all of this is contingent on the creator, something if you want to call it, someone if you want to call it, some being or some entity.
But we can't. You know how we can't contemplate nothing.
Yes.
So what happened? What was there, or what existed before that? Then.
Yeah, we can't contemplate. I agree with you.
You could understand the concept.
Yeah.
Like you could understand the words.
I can't understand the concept.
Well, let's see. So, absolute nothingness is the absence of everything.
Yeah,
we already eliminated nothing.
But that's just language. That's just like words that we've used. Like we can't actually contemplate.
Okay, I'll give you a good example.
Your ideas have to be put into words.
There's these.
In order to communicate, that's the only way human beings can communicate.
Yeah, but just because we can put it into words doesn't mean.
I'll show you. I'll give you a good example in geometry. Yeah? In geometry, there's these shapes. Like I forgot what the word. Like a thousand shape. Polygon, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
There's names for these shapes, yeah? We could never conceptualize, we could never think of or imagine them, basically, but we can understand them conceptually. So you can't, see or vision in your mind what a 1,000-shape polygon actually looks like, because we've never seen anything like it.
5 dimensions.
But we could define one, and you can understand that this word means 1,000-shape polygon. You don't need to be able to see it to understand it. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. Can I quickly?
Sure, go on.
Okay, so that makes sense to me. But then, so say there is this nothing. Then
nothing doesn't exist.
No, there isn't. That's the point.
No, there is something.
No, but before the being that you're saying, before the being created the universe.
Yeah, so there
was nothing.
No, there was never nothing.
So there was always.
Wait.
There's always a being.
And that's what I meant by the necessary.
There's always been a being.
That's why I said a necessary being, as opposed to the contingent existence, like the universe, like you and me, everything. So there has to be something always there, someone or some entity always there, which we call the necessary existence, the necessary being.
Why do we call it someone? Because there was no
because
there's someone to be on.
Because
so is this someone? What is this someone? What is it?
It's God.
Yeah, I know, but what is God?
You can call
energy.
To make things easier, we don't believe in God as a human being. So when we say someone, we're not talking about a human being.
So why do we attach the being's language to what you believe is God?
Because a being
That's
has
a big problem I have.
a being has to have a will in order to do something, to action something. In this case, the universe, creating the universe. So it has to be an intelligent being with a will.
The problem I've got that is I don't necessarily it has to be like a conscious, intentional thing. Then.
Why not?
Why does it have to be?
Because
I'm not making the claim. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Let me tell you why. Because if it's not an intentional, unconscious cause, if it's a mechanistic, that's the only other alternative.
Sure.
If it's mechanistic, like you said with the AI, eternal causes have eternal effects. So what does that mean? So if there is, for example, if I turn the light switch on, there's no lag between me turning it on and the light coming on. So, because we know that existence wasn't always here, and we know that prior to existence there was this thing, that means the cause is not a mechanistic cause. You see what I'm saying? Because mechanistic causes, there's no lag. If the cause exists, the effect necessarily exists. So if there's a being, there needs to be an effect. There needs to be a universe. Well, we know the universe didn't always exist, and we know for the universe to exist, there must have always been a being. So you see, there's this time, you could say, where there was the being and no universe. That means the cause. That's the problem.
I still want to know, why do you disagree with
So it has to be
a conscious,
there's a
conscious willing
where
agent?
It was an intention agent that made it to come about, because it wasn't forced. I just explained, like electrical currents on a circuit or anything like that. Like if there was a if the cause occurs, effect necessarily occurs. That's a mechanistic cause. But an intentional cause, like I, for example, have the ability to see. But I could delay that. I could delay sight by closing my eyes. But I could intentionally want to see by opening my eyes. See what I'm saying?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not following this.
Okay, just stick. Okay, how about this?
Yeah, keep it simple, bro.
I'll keep it to the electrical example, which is what? Switch on immediately if everything is working.
Know what you're trying to prove now?
I'm just trying to show it because he's stuck on the fact that this agent or this being or this thing has will or is an agent. It's a volition. It's conscious. Yes, actively trying to create. It's not some mechanism that's like dead. You know what I mean? Like a dead
I still want to know from you guys, why do you think this being or this entity, say for example, cannot be conscious and willing if you know that it is going to bring this existence, including the universe, to be created? Why do you think it's not conscious or willing? So for anyone to create anything, they must have consciousness.
He's saying it could have been the other way.
Yeah, but what's the alternative? It cannot be mechanical, because mechanical, then you must imply there must be some other matter, some other thing before the universe then, which we have no evidence for.
So like mechanistic things require like calibration, require somebody to bring them about. So they're dependent, like the way they're functioning, they're dependent on something that configures their function.
Yeah.
That's one issue. Another issue that I'd say to you is the issue that I was talking about before. Mechanistic causes don't have ability to not manifest their effects.
How do you know that the being that created the universe was created by a being before that?
Oh, good. So, if that, let's say that this is the case, then you wouldn't be talking about the being that would be the ultimate creator, because the thing that is the ultimate creator that everything else relies upon
like the first
cannot.
point.
Yes, the first exactly.
It
cannot
I see.
because remember the problem of infinite regress. Because okay, if you say the thing that created the universe also had something to create, that means we're not talking about God.
No,
we're talking about.
appreciate it.
Surely the
something before,
ultimate creator doesn't the ultimate creator still have an infinite?
Sorry?
No, because it's uncreated.
Let me tell you why.
Because it is uncreated, it's self-sufficient, it's
It's
independent.
only things that have began to exist.
Yes.
Caused before. And the argument is it never began to exist, it always existed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even if you strip it away from time, because some people like to talk about timing issues like time theory.
Let's not complicate.
I'm not gonna complicate. If you just do this, if you take the sum aggregate, if you just collect all things that are dependent on other things, like the wind, like the universe, everything within the universe, all that, just take it as a sum. All that, because it's dependent on something else, that whole set is dependent on something else. And because everything that is dependent is inside that set, it cannot be dependent on something that is dependent also. Why? Because all dependent things are inside that set. You get what I'm saying?
We need to count everything you see, the universe, and you cannot say that everything that is outside the universe, yes, in this